Hi, this is Big H Trades. I wanted to show you a little trade for some of the others that would like to still do some short-term ideas while you're considering looking at options for doing longer trades. And like I've told you before, I'm not a short-term trader, but this happens to actually mesh with my long-term studies, but it's also setting up for somebody that is a short-term mentality that would like to take advantage of a low-risk potential setup. Now, I think as a short-term trade, I'm not sure it has a lot of potential to make a lot, but it does have a very nice risk to reward, and it's because the way it's coming into its resistance area. And it's the if you have a chart, I'll try to take my camera off here, but I don't really have it. I thought I had a nice tripod, and it's not working out right, so I'm going to have to look into getting something else. But you could look at the it's natural gas. It'd be the November contract, and it's at 3.055. It doesn't matter what it is, right? But it's like per million cubic feet or whatever, right? It doesn't matter to me how much natural gas it is. I'm not going to take delivery of the natural gas anyway. I'm just trying to trade on the futures. But now I'm going to try to pull this camera off here. I'm going to show you my trend line that I drew, and then I want to draw your attention to a resistance point up above that now, since it's been fairly important since about for a couple of weeks. Even though it popped through it before, it came back down to that resistance point, broke through the bottom, came back. But I'm just saying it's becoming an important point, and it's probably a nice point to make a small profitable trade on. So let me see if I can show this to you. Sorry about this. This might not work out. Nothing worse than watching a jittery video. You see my trend line there that I drew coming up at an angle? This is a 10-minute chart, and for short-term stuff I like to use something shorter than that, but I wanted enough data there that you could see it. And let me bring my arrow over here, and you can see this touched it. It's a fairly important point right here. Within a couple of cents, broke through, came back, tested it, and I wasn't interested in going short this, so I left all this alone. It came back up. That is out of focus, isn't it? Sorry. And it popped barely through. And actually, this is the area I'm more interested in where it is right now. It's at 3.055, and that line is 3.065. That's a whopping penny above there. Okay, now it broke back down, and I hadn't established this trend line yet, but then it made a move up, came back down. Still hadn't established any trend line I was at all serious about. I mean, I did begin to look at this because the tail was there. Although people say avoid the tails, don't use those much as information. Well, the tails can kill you because it's a real trade. It happened, so you have to take them into consideration. Again, that's why I don't like doing like short-term trades on silver and stuff, because those tails kill you. Okay, it actually broke through, not very far, and not that doesn't mean anything. It does, but for a trend line, I will sometimes avoid them as long as it doesn't break through many times. Okay, it came back above, came back, and now it tested it. Now I'm getting real serious about this trend line. And now we're into another day. Barely went below, and that is literally only one tick below that trend line. I'm not gonna set my stop where one tick is going to kill me, so I like that trend line now a lot. Now you come up here And where do you come to before it meets resistance on 4 10-minute bars? 3.075. 2 ticks above that last high where it met resistance. And really, with even that important line from 4 or 5 days ago where it had broken through, but it had trouble busting through there. It had some real resistance there. Now we come back down, up, and now we come back and touch that trend line. And look at that. It doesn't break through, and it reverses, comes back up within 2 ticks. As that is, actually that's within 1 tick. That's 307. Or if you come back to this other one, that's 3.065, and that those 4 10-minute bars were at 3.075. You come back, you don't break that. It'd been even nicer if that touched that trend line. However, that is only 1 tick away from touching. Pretty nice, pretty nice. I like it a lot. Comes back up again, 3.07, 1 tick away from that same resistance line. Comes back down here. Now again, I would have really liked to touch this line, but that's only 2 ticks away from touching this important. Now that trend line to me is becoming real important. I'm going to show you the date down here. This September, let me read that, 24th, 2:58 a.m. Okay, now I'm going to let you see this, and then I'm going to put the camera back because it's so jittery. You're probably getting dizzy like you're riding a carnival ride anyway. Okay, now let me talk about that a minute and why I like it so much. I'm not sure this is going to be a watchable video. I'd have to start again. I started again before because it... Why is that so out of focus? I'll leave people nuts on it. But maybe the quality of the video is less important about the content. The thing I love that pattern so much is, well, first of all, it fits my weekly study, so it fits for me. And then when you get that action where it comes against a trend line, builds back to an important resistance, comes back to a trend line that is rising, goes back to resistance, comes back to that trend line, goes back up again. The whole time, you know, that angled trend line is like pushing up against the ceiling. And it isn't going to be long. Either that floor is going to be weaker than the ceiling and it's going to break through the floor, or the ceiling is going to be weaker and it's going to break through the ceiling. In a majority of cases for me, when it builds like this, and especially when my weekly study shows that we should go long on natural gas, it's a really low entry risk, even for you guys that want to trade on a shorter term. So, you know, look tomorrow and see, did it pop through? I mean, if it doesn't pop through in a couple of days, especially by the close Friday, I'm going to get nervous and maybe liquidate my position. But I think it's going to happen before that. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens even tonight. So I'm going to put my stop at 3.02, and I'm going long at 3.050. And when that breaks through that resistance, what I'm hoping is going to happen at 3.075, that line there that you saw at the top, you know, that would be the straight line at the top, that's going to become resistance, at least for a while. So you have the potential to at least, you know, I think you've probably got a better than 3-to-1 reward to risk ratio there. But how I'm going to do it is I'm going to probably be doing about 5 contracts, and when it breaks through, I'm probably going to be selling a couple of those at about 312, and then I will be moving up my stop to break even on the third contract, and on my 2 remaining contracts I'm going to have those at my appropriate weekly studies. And even if I end up losing a little money on that, overall it was a very low risk, and it helped me get a better position on my weekly studies. And if this trade goes against me, I still may actually make a little money, or at the worst I'm going to lose a small amount of money. But actually my stop then, because my weekly studies show I need to be down there at about 291, and actually I need to go about 5 cents below that. So I'm on my weekly studies I'm probably going to be at about 286 on that. But I'm hoping that it pops through, and it may not come back. I'm hoping what it'll do, make me feel really good about it, if it pops through that, we're going to have a pullback, but hopefully that pullback will be to that resistance line, and that top, what was the ceiling, will now become the floor, and it will build from that point, and it'll pop out. And then really, to build energy, you want it to come back to there. You don't want it to just keep right on going. I mean, the quicker it goes up, usually the quicker it comes back too. I mean, not always. There's some big moves that start from popping through, but not in natural gas. I mean, natural gas is kind of its own thing. Go back and look at how some people probably made a lot of money in natural gas over the last year and a half. That it's fallen and fallen and fallen and fallen, and I think it's been building a base here for the last several months. And so I've done a few long trades on it and made a little bit of money net. I also lost money on one of the trades, but again, it was about risk to reward, and our reward has been greater than our risk. We have I don't like to do a trade if you don't have at least 2 to 1, and even that I don't really like it. I mean, it's much better if you get 4 to 1, 5 to 1, and this one realistically on a short term, in my opinion, probably has about a 3 to 1. But the thing I do like about it, if it does go against you, it's really a small loss there. Okay, thanks. I hope you enjoy this, and again, we're still looking towards getting a guy on board, and if you're interested in learning longer term studies, it's for some people, it's not for some other people, but I like to mention in every video about, or hopefully most of them, the turtle traders. You want to know who really made money trading, I mean big bucks, look at the turtle traders. And again, that I can't I know how they traded it. I can tell you how they traded it, but 99.9% of you can't do it. I can't either, so I'm not making fun of anybody that can't do it. Just the drawdowns are too gut wrenching, and frankly the capital you have to have is pretty high, because you've got to watch lots of different markets, and then you've got to take those trades when they're available, and it means you need quite a bit of cash position to take all those various futures contracts you could be in at any one time. But anyway, thanks. Hope you like this. Talk to you later.